Welcome to 2 on the 10.
Oh, we back, baby. 2 on the 10.
Sir.
Paul.
I'm Mitch.
Greedy.
Oh, yeah. And you see, we got him back. I told you guys, it was just a short stint. You know what I'm saying?
On the DL.
He had to get his foot right.
Yeah, I still got the cane. But hey,
Baby.
I can walk in the studio. I was trying to say a little bit like hopping along like Biggie after the car crash, whatever. Hey, but I got a shout out real quick. My cousin, shout out to Marshall Obenchain and the Obenchain family in Vallejo. And so it's funny. He texted me the other day. Hey, cousin, is everything good? What's everything you okay? I didn't see you on the show. So not only is he a loyal show listener, but he's definitely looking out for his boy. So shout out to everybody back home. Shout out to my cousin.
There you go.
Yeah, I did see we had a little bump in viewership by the ladies with me being in that seat over there. But I don't know. That's just what I heard. That's just what I heard.
Yeah, they're tuning in when I came back.
We're gonna check the numbers on that, my man. Now, good to have you back, man. Like I say, you're still recovering. You're still,
I'm still.
He ain't 100%, but he here.
This is Mitch's flu game.
Exactly.
He's hurting, but he's gonna make it through.
Yep.
He might put up Jordan numbers tonight. You never know.
All right.
With his analytics.
And then that's crazy because that's gonna be a down game for me, but that's cool.
I ain't mad at you. Well, since you've been away, man, you've had a couple weekends kind of catch us up on. Tell me about it. You just been posted up the whole time, or what's been going on?
To be honest with you, this last weekend was terrible. Other than watching movies and shit, I basically, I didn't leave the house from like Wednesday to Monday.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, did not leave the house. Had my foot propped up. Icing, elevating, different things like that. Got the crazy cats jumping on your ankle, not even thinking about it,
Right.
whatever, or messing with your cane because like my cat's like the little spring on that
right,
cane and stuff. They're crazy, but but it was cool. What's funny? I didn't want the circumstances to be a bum leg to do that, but it was kind of cool to just chill. To be honest with you, to have to relax, to have to slow it down. I actually, it actually was cool to, call it a night early with the movies on, but falling asleep.
Gotcha.
And it was cool to wake up late, without going out drinking. Truthfully, I was.
So you were watching a little Netflix?
Netflix, Hulu, Prime, we got everything now.
Got you.
Set up.
You do good movies?
Yeah, what's funny? We redid. We've been watching redid Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay.
And then what else? It's funny. We go back and forth between. I'm an action person, so I always am looking for actions.
Okay.
And every once in a while, comedy. So
There you go.
Yeah,
Well, check out. They got a couple new ones. The Axel Foley one comes out on the 3rd. Okay. That's gonna be cool because I think that's the 4th installment in the Beverly Hills Cop series. Also, they had this one, and I just turned it on to go to sleep. It's called Supercell, but it was based in. It's based out of the UK and something like that. Okay. Put on sometimes. You might have to put on subtitles because they talk sometimes.
No. My girl has subtitles on anyway.
Okay, because they be talking fast as motherfuckers sometimes with the UK accent. But anyway, it was a dope little show. You talking about action? It had a little sci-fi in it, which I like, and had a little twist about how these guys got the powers based off their parents having sickle cell. So,
And Mitch, if you want to watch The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I started watching that show. I watched it halfway through. Everybody says it's good. I couldn't get into that motherfucker.
The one with the superheroes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I love it.
Like it?
Yeah, because it's a little bit crazy. It's got some comedy, some crazy shit happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to get in that shit. And
You got to watch at least the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, no, I did, man. That's what I'm saying. I got halfway into it, and it was. I don't know.
I watched 2 different shows that were similar. I finished one. It was called either The Front or The End or whatever, where some family gets caught in a city that you can't leave once you get in there or something. It's like 3 seasons, going on 4 seasons. I can't remember exactly. It's pretty terrible. I don't know the name. I always joke about it with my girl, like The Front or The End, whatever the hell that movie's called. That thing's called. It's the dude. It's the brother from Oz. He's in it, you know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like he's one of the main characters.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could check that, you know, it's, and then the other one, which was funny, I woke up late night one night, had the TV on and saw Under the Dome, which was like a show from 2014, which is similar. Like a dome just goes over one day of the city,
Okay.
casts people in, and both of them were very similar. I'm still working on Under the Dome, finished the other one.
Gotcha.
And it, yeah, both pretty interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but and back to just the only thing I really that's from the weekend. That previous week, I did check out one of the best kebab spots. Probably the best kebabs I've ever had.
Hold on. Better than your other joint?
Well, first of all, it was kebab, so it's tough. Like, 'cause, yeah, I always.
But you know how the Greek spots also got kebabs too.
Yeah. You know what? That's pretty crazy. I got to watch my words because I'm a big charcoal grill guy.
Yeah.
But this Kebob and Go on 16th and Thomas, basically between Thomas and Omelets.
Okay.
First of all, it was voted top 50 or mentioned as the top 50 restaurants in the country by New York. What was it? New York Times.
Okay.
Which is interesting. I like how this is what happened with what's his name too. It's like how's New York magazines always get up in an Arizona mix, but hey, a top 50 restaurant. Guy Fieri just recently popped in there.
Okay.
And so I had to check it out. Now, don't get me wrong, when you go there, it's not what you expect. It's a hole in the wall spot.
Okay.
Doesn't open until 12.
Okay.
I placed an order the day before. I called it like 3 o'clock to see what was up. They closed at 7.
Right.
And the little girl answers the little daughter. She's like 6 or 8. Oh, we're all out of food. We ran out.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's the one you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent me that one. Is they make it for that day. So basically, when they run out of food, they run out of food.
Run out of food. Yeah.
It's kind of like Little Miss.
Yeah. Little Miss Barbecue.
Yeah.
And so I ordered the night before. Pull up at 12 just to make sure, make my presence known.
Mm-hmm.
Other people ordered, a little, whatever, because I didn't get my food till like 12:45.
Oh wow.
I ordered the night before, but whatever.
Okay.
We occupied our time at some other spots in the area.
Right.
But yeah, when I actually took the food home, because you really can't eat it there. There's like a couple benches outside, but this weather.
Hot as fuck.
Good luck with that. So you got to take it home. So keep that in mind. But I'll tell you this: 35-minute travel back home in the metal plate. With the metal pie tin, deep dish.
Yeah.
It was piping hot.
Right.
Amazing. Didn't miss a beat. And what's funny is I'm looking at their menu, and I'm like, okay, it only looks like one kebab, and the chicken thighs is $25.99. That's kind of that's kind of pricey, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the Brazilian food. The 2 things I got in the menu, I got to try the chicken tenders, but I heard, and I also got to try the pork ribs. I heard the ribs are the best ribs anywhere. That's what somebody said, the reviewer. And so. But I did try the chicken thighs. He's the best chicken thighs anywhere, And so I'm looking at the pricing, and then I saw this steak plate they had. Brazilian steak. It was like fillets or whatever, but it wasn't, again, Brazilian steak style fillet, right?
Yeah.
In the deep dish. And it was $39.99. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take this. So 2 items for lunch end up being like $70.
Fuck that.
No, but I'll tell you this. I didn't really read underneath that the portions are a pound of meat each. So you get back home and there is a ton of food. Okay. I mean, it was good enough for 3 meals, like gotcha. two meals for me for sure.
Okay.
And so it was.
That makes a little bit more sense.
And it had rice, it had big ass peppers, and then I'm not a tomato fan, but it had some pretty good tomatoes, And the dude just kebabs everything, puts it on the plate. You can also get the kebab by itself with just the meat. Man, one of the best plates I've ever had.
Really?
Right. Amazing. So,
fuck with it.
Yeah, so definitely go check out Kebob to Go on 16th Street in Phoenix. The hype is real. Right. Again, I just got to figure out the logistics because it's like, let's say with Nick, let's meet down there. Well, what are we going to do? We can't even take it to a park.
I take it to George's house.
Well, I mean, but you know what I mean? We got to figure something out where we're going to eat it. Because, or take it back to your own home. But it's like, and then here's the thing, they don't run late because they usually sell out. So when
you're eating in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you're eating in the middle of the day.
Gotcha.
You're eating in the middle of the day, basically. But if you can figure that out, definitely worth it. That's all I'm saying.
But say if you show up there at 12 quarter, ain't gonna take 45 minutes to get your food, is it?
Yeah, because I'd be pissed when I saw a guy order at 12. Pissed when I ordered the day before and it took 45 minutes for me. What? And I showed up at 12 anyway. So yeah, if you order at 12, or how about this? I would just call in. I would call in at 12, put your order in and show up at 1. Okay. That's what I would do probably.
All right.
That's what I would do. But yeah, amazing. Definitely check it out.
It sounds like a spot where it's good, but you gotta have some time. You gotta have,
You got a little time, a little patience.
Got you.
But definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Cool. Hey, Grady, what you got?
This weekend, I saw, a friend of mine.
Who might that friend be?
I don't know. He might be sitting at the table, and we might have had a few drinks and went to the casino and lost a few dollars.
Hold on, wasn't this what y'all did this week before in the show?
It's becoming a recurring.
Recurrent theme, exactly.
Go out for a few and then somehow end up at the casino.
Exactly.
I'm not going to mention any names, but there might be one or two degenerate gamblers sitting at the table here with you, Mitch, today.
Yeah, exactly.
And neither of them are invisible. So.
Yeah, exactly. No,
But we played some baccarat again.
yeah. This time, it wasn't so lucky. Yeah.
So this time you got your baccarat broke?
Yeah.
It broke my baccarat out.
Yes. I mean, I lasted a little bit longer than Nick, but still.
Pause.
That's what she said.
But it was definitely a night. Here's the thing. I'm gonna throw my weekend in there because this was basically the highlight of my weekend was going out. I needed it. Was cool, man. Linking up with Nick. I was like, man, I gotta get out of the house. I forgot where my girl went. She had some friends in town, whatever. And so we met down in Chandler, and then me and him and we fucking bar hopped. Another frat brother and his girl met us out and something like that. And then we kind of bar hopped around there. We went. See, where the fuck did we go? We went from West Holly Barbecue. Okay. We went from West Holly Barbecue then we went over to
What's the dude's name over there? Christian?
Christian. Yeah.
That's the homie. Shout out to Christian.
Yeah. Shout out to Christian over there. And then we went over to the Spirit House. Got us a little cocktail over there. That's what you met us over at. Yeah. The Spirit House. So
They need to invest in some AC in that place.
you ain't lying, bro. I mean, both places was a little smoky, but then we walked down to Murphy's. Got some drinks out of Murphy. We were there until the live band started, and then went up. Piero had nice little smoke. But we weren't ready to go home quite yet after that. And so, I talked to Nicky and, spent a couple dollars more. And we drove over to the casino. And like I said, just didn't turn out the way.
So the highlight of your weekend was watching Nick lose. That's what you say.
Well, now,
What you enjoy.
and then, the highlight was, coming back and we eating late night. Oh, I didn't tell you about this.
Oh.
So we ate the Del Taco on the way back.
Okay.
I thought it was
Nasty.
It wasn't. No, actually, it wasn't bad. I wish we like the burrito actually wasn't bad. I wish it was carne asada.
Let me guess. You got one of the super stuffed burritos with the French fries in it or something?
Yeah.
I knew. I know you.
Yep. I got that, but
But he won the carne asada, but they were out, so I only got chicken.
yeah, I got chicken. But I'm saying I should not have ate that late, bro. I had the worst stomach ache that night. Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know if it was the liquor or the mixing or what.
This episode of 2 on 10 is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol and baby wipes.
I was the next day. I didn't get out of bed till about noon.
I don't believe you.
I went and hung out with my parents.
Yeah.
We went. They took me to lunch. I was like, I haven't seen them. I'm gonna come up. They're like, we'll go to lunch. I was hurting the whole time. I get back to their house to chill with them. I laid down on the couch for 2 hours.
Hey, let me ask you this. What do you think your parents think knowing that you're, in the age you are, and they look at you and go, hold on, this hasn't stopped in 30 years?
they expect it though.
Yeah.
They expect it.
The way they see it is,
They-
I do all right. They know I'm stocking money away. I can't say the same for, other family members, but, I put money away and, I'm do all right for myself. So they don't mind it. They know I got to blow off some steam every now and again.
Exactly.
And, get a little fun in. I've cut back on the gambling a little bit the last couple of weeks just because, well, first, there's really nothing to bet on other than baseball, and baseball is a crapshoot. So,
Yeah.
So I'm taking a little bit of a break, just trying to lick my wounds for the last couple of weeks.
Break, a.k.a. rehab.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Shit, I'm about to say, wait, man, because this baseball shit is for the birds.
Yeah.
Can't figure nothing this out. It has no fucking rhyme or reason. And like you said, essentially it's like guessing. It's not like where, basketball, the guy averages, 15.6 a night. So, he's going to,
Well, it'd be like the pitcher's 9-1 going against the guy that's never pitched in the majors.
Mm-hmm.
That guy that's never pitched in the majors throws 8 shutout innings and
Yeah.
they lose by 2. It's like, what the fuck?
But here's the difference. Here's the reason why it's always going to be rigged to a degree. They're going to put the lines out early.
Yeah.
They're going to set the lines for the way they want people to bet. and people are going to bet, and it really doesn't have anything to do sometimes with the skill sets. It's going to be a bait on the lines, depending on, and they're going to balance it out with whatever money they need to balance it out.
Right.
And so it's like, and so you're watching it going, oh, this is what the odds are, and it's just crazy sometimes, and it's not even really, I don't know. It's insane. It's almost like you're better to just do the opposite of what you want. Do all your homework, calculate everything on a stat sheet, follow every single pitch count, and put it in your book, and then do the opposite of whatever your stats say.
Yeah, true.
And you'll probably win 70% of the time.
You might be fucking right. So I might start betting on just wins or losses. You know, who wins that game.
Even that is, I mean, team could be on fire and play a team that had, you know, is like 0 for 12 in their last, 12, and then they'll still 1-3. They'll steal 1-3. So
I don't know.
Baseball's tough. Like I said, I'm taking a break from the gambling, even though I did
I'm proud of you.
a couple bucks.
Proud of you. Give it up. Give it up.
Don't let this motherfucker tell me. He got a bet in his phone right now. Motherfucker.
I was gonna say I did place a couple small wagers this evening.
I took a break for about 2 hours. You know.
It's like at an AA meeting.
Yeah. Don't let this motherfucker fool you. Anyway.
I'm on my second step.
Yeah, exactly. Shit like that.
Are you? Can you? If you go to AA meeting, you allowed to? They have a few drinks while you're there, or no? That's frowned upon.
Nah, frowned upon. Definitely. But speaking of a couple of losses, big Rick Ross took a loss over the weekend. Took a crazy L. So they were doing a concert. They were doing a concert in in Canada,
Vancouver, right?
Yeah, Vancouver. So I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's place lay the scene out. What's going on right now? Rick Ross is in the camp of Kendrick Lamar. Basically,
Or he's
Kendrick Lamar friendly.
Yeah, or he just is taking shots at Drake.
Drake and something.
He didn't back Drake. He really didn't mention Kendrick too much, but he definitely took shots at Drake at the same time Kendrick did.
Right.
And they used to be boys, supposedly, and collaborators. So
Well, I mean, they got a hot song out together.
yeah, they have a few.
What's
The Aston Martin music.
Yeah, Aston Martin music,
There's
yeah.
a couple others.
Lemon Pepper.
Yeah, any DJ Khaled remix.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, the early ones before Drake cost too much.
right. But he was in Canada. They were doing a concert. They decided they wanted to play Kendrick's "They're Not Like Us,"
They're not like us. They're not
and people backstage, cats that were pro Drake, took offense to it, so they let them be known. And both of them came. It was doing
Pause.
doing a lot of woofing.
Yeah.
And
I heard the N-word thrown around by a few white people.
it was
Felt like I was back in the Bay Area.
it was weird because I couldn't tell like who was who, because it was like they were both.
It was like
shuffling all the way
it was
around.
kind of weird because it was like the circus got out and you didn't know who the workers were and who the acts were.
Exactly. It was weird as fuck. So, but finally they kind of broke apart so you could tell like who was who, and then all of a sudden, dude got close to him and
They were talking like what you think you're gonna come in and disrespect our city, like we're not gonna stand on this shit or whatever he was
exactly.
talking. And I mean, again, it's crazy. And then the rumor mill is running that they're OVO goons and all this stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna say that for attention, or maybe they did it for attention.
Right.
I mean, in the same token, I'm gonna start this off here. And I've been to Vancouver many times, and don't get me wrong, it's funny because you think Vancouver's sweet. But there's definitely, at least when I used to run to Vancouver, shout out to Club Elite in those days, there's definitely some drug-heavy crews. I mean, because
here's the thing.
I'm talking some real people.
Yeah, anything anywhere you go, definitely. I remember like we went to Vancouver for like 7 days or something like that, and for Caravana, and was up there, and there was definitely some dudes that were, I'd say. I wouldn't say made, but definitely.
No, that's my point.
They were in that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And
some you couldn't even figure out. Like I remember me and Raj and Lynn were up once time there, and we were laughing at this dude because he's kind of busted clothes wise. We weren't laughing at him because of that, but he had a beard and he had like one braid down his beard, and he looked like a goofy white dude, to be honest with you. And all of a sudden, a fight broke out. And he starts lifting his shirt. He's got a pistol sitting there right there. And we're out right in front of the club. And me and Roger are like, dang, you don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, we know that back home.
Right.
But sometimes you're feeling yourselves, if you're in the Bay Area or whatever, and we had no problem. We were having fun.
Right.
But like I'm just saying, you notice certain things here. Also, the pimp game out there. They always have the pimps and the girls that are working the streets and stuff. And so they got to be strapped and they got to be collecting money and whatever. There's a lot of anytime there's money, industrial business, and then it's funny. It's a mix of at least Vancouver is a melting pot of different cultures. I saw a lot of like Cambodians. I saw a lot of Indians. I saw a lot of Asians. I saw again it was interesting, Nigerians. And so when you got these packs, you're gonna have people that are down. And so it's funny. We've seen that. We've seen that when we were out there. We've seen that when we mobbed 8 deep. And navigators to all the clubs and VIP, and we're getting dirty looks from people thinking that we're moving in on their territory. You're allowed to say that, or their girls, or whatever else, And we didn't. At that point, we didn't care though. But we weren't talking shit either, And so it's interesting though. Vancouver, which is all the other side of the country from Toronto, is holding it down. And so I guess my long-winded point I'm trying to make it though is that, I mean, I know it's funny, I know everything else, but you go into somebody's city.
Yep.
And it's not even city or country, wherever they're well respected. I'll just say that. And you know what you're doing.
Right.
You know what you're doing, It's like if somebody tried to go in the Bay Area and diss E40 in the Bay.
Right.
They're not getting out the show.
Yeah, right.
Or Too Short, or Matt Gray.
I mean, here's the thing is, Rick Ross called him two-piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His rest of his crew definitely got fucked up.
Yeah, now did somebody actually hit Ross?
Yeah, he hit him in the face. He got hit with a two-piece, and then he backed up, and that's when the rest of his people.
Because for whatever reason, I saw it a few times, and and at first it was funny too, because someone's like, every day you hustling, every day we hustle, and he was like trying to be cool,
right?
And then somebody else said something, and he was what, and he kind of was mouthing off.
Yeah. You got to see the whole. So there's a video of just of the clip of the part, and there's a whole video.
Yeah.
So the whole video shows him he gets two-piece, and that's when that's when the melee starts. You know what I'm saying? This big bodyguard motherfucker. At first, he was handling this dude. He was he was just drugging him and stuff like that. But then
the people come out of nowhere,
and then his bodyguard got caught from the side.
The number one rule, again, if people haven't been in brawls, the number one rule, and I'd say it all the time, is back up against something.
And
don't get me wrong.
Put your. Here's the thing: is it doesn't seem like the smart move, but you will not get clipped from the back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. You just got to keep your head on the swivel.
Yep.
So don't concentrate. I mean, definitely concentrate on the person that's in front of you, but also be checking out the side of your eye, because I guarantee you one of his homies are going to see you mopping them up, and they're going to try to sneak you from the side. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing to do, like you said, is back yourself up against, the wall. Yeah. Or if you're moving out, just make sure that nobody ain't behind you, and if you're going to retreat, just make sure you retreat.
And on top of that too, make sure when you're backing up against the wall, it's not a concrete wall and your head's not right against it, because if someone punches you in the back of that, it's lights out too. Yeah. But again, you gotta, and before even that rule, know where you're at. You know what I mean? Know where you're at.
You can't go in. I mean, you're exactly right. You can't go in different places and you can't act up. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're about that life. And if you're about that life, then that's a whole nother story. Then you shouldn't even be doing these concerts and stuff. It's like going in and taunting people, and you're not prepared for that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
so here's a question for you, though, Mitch. Yeah. So that incident happened. 50 Cent got involved with it. He was clowning and shit like that. It wasn't a good look all the way around. But now that happened, can Drake now go to Miami? Can Drake now go to California?
That's a good question. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Without shit happening, because here's the thing: it wasn't Drake's crew or per se, but it was people standing up for.
I'm going to say this.
Drake.
I'm going to say this. Drake's going to have to call all his connections, and Drake's very connected though. As funny as it sounds, and I'm not the biggest Drake fan, but he's very connected. Jay Prince, out in Houston and stuff. Always jumps in his business anytime there's beefs, and kind of shuts it down. And I don't know what Jay Prince has over people. I know the legend and I know the Houston game, so I'm not, but again, it's like there's something there. But then on top of that too, there's enough connection to where he can call people in that area. It's going to cost him. it's going to cost him.
Gotcha.
But, he can call people. I mean, it's almost no different than, well, it's a bad example. When Diddy used to use the Crips in L.A., you know what I mean, to when he'd go visit, although obviously they got Biggie, but that could have been an inside job too,
Right, right.
But again, it's still possible, but I would think you would let shit cool over before you do.
Gotcha.
And then the same token, there's levels to the shit. Drake's doing, I mean, again, I'm not a Drake fan, and I hate Drake fans. You know what I mean? I really do. They remind me of LeBron fans. But with that said, Drake's going to be doing stadiums. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you're doing a stadium tour and they're going to pay you $500,000 to $1 million to show up,
Right.
In your rider, you can have many different things. You can have, you can definitely have that. And let me share this from experience. I threw a concert once
Right.
with YG.
Okay.
And this is Nick. You helped out with that. Remember? Nick helps out with everything. Shout out to Nick, greedy. But no. And this was funny is people thought we were crazy. We did him, Kid Ink, Futuristic, all at this Mesa, event center. And people thought we were crazy because YG last time he was in town got into a fight with some gang members at the Celebrity Theater. And there was all this shit talking back and forth and throwing up sets and, and YG's a blood and all this shit. And Phoenix is like, respect Phoenix, and they're throwing chairs and all this shit. So like whoever brings him back first, it's going to be interesting.
Right.
So, I'm negotiating with YG's manager. And they're like, yeah, we'll do the show, price back and forth, blah, 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 blah. The shit for the green room, we need at least 8 people strapped security, undercover.
Wow.
And, I'm saying it. This was 2013 when we did the show.
Right.
And so, me, I always err on the side of caution. So I got 10,
Right.
plus some regular security too. Because again, we didn't want to take any chances,
Right.
And the funny thing is actually there ended up being a fight in the green room. But,
Really?
Yeah, but it was
Between girls.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
And it ended up on, was it on
World Star.
World Star or Media Take?
And let's just go into the story real quick. And I know we're getting off the subject, but it's a good story. Allegedly, there was a dude that owes me and somebody else some money. Okay. And he owes a lot of people money.
Okay.
And he's running around town. And he's like this little baller kid or wannabe baller. But, and I just remember he went off the scene for about 5 months, disappeared, owes a lot of people money.
Okay.
Looked the part, was connected, used pictures and everything else to finagle a lot of shit. He spent a lot of money in my store. So that's the reason, I was okay to back him on a couple of things. You know? Me and, Ryan. And so I'll just tell it how it is. 6 months pass, don't hear from the kid. All of a sudden he calls me all frantic. Somebody had shot at him and his friends, and he thought it was me and Ryan. White that said people. I'll just say this, and this is where the boogeyman is funny. It works in your favor sometimes, though, But man, Mitch, blah 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 blah. This. I told him don't ever say that shit. We didn't do that shit. Whatever. If you want to sit down and talk, we can sit down and talk. Whatever. I'll have your money. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Cool. All right. So then, in fact, I think the day we met Bash, that same kid, remember?
Oh, okay. Really? Really?
Yeah, same kid. Remember?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go down and all his friends,
Yeah.
like he was with a bunch of people and they all came to say what's up.
Yeah.
So he thought like he was, and they all came and shook our hands and whatever. Yeah. That was funny as hell. Like the people he was with were like all on some, Mitch, what's up? What's going on? And so he begged, hey, just give me to this, whatever. So this same kid, anyway, was cool with YG. His sisters, I think, hooked up with him, with YG and them. He had 2 young, attractive sisters at the time, whatever, And so anyway, I'm not naming names, but, people know. Okay, so anyway, I had heard a rumor that he was going to just roll into our concert with YG.
Oh, wow.
And think it's cool.
Right.
And so, somebody had asked me, one of the radio people that knows everything, Mitch, are you going to let so-and-so go in? I go, fuck no. In fact, I got on the phone and called YG's manager. I said, y'all can do whatever y'all want. If that dude shows up, there's going to be problems.
Right.
I go, whatever that means, I go, he's not, what's it called? I said that straight up. They're like, okay, cool. No, he ain't going to show up, blah, 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 blah. I go, and then I had heard his sisters. I go, I have no problem with his sisters, whatever. You know what I mean? That's your guess. So his sisters, went with YG and them. He never showed up to the show.
Right.
Well, one of the sponsors, this clothing line in Phoenix, from South Phoenix area, he also owed them money too. Well, they basically didn't have a no sister rule. I had a no sister rule.
Gotcha.
They didn't have a no sister rule. and they had a few sisters with them.
Gotcha.
So when they were in the green room, and they were friends with YG and them too. They actually, one of their friends did a rap video with YG. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Well, I can say,
Yeah.
because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. We can't be dry snitching.
But so anyway, if you got that reference or not.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll just say this: the two girls took off on this girl, started whooping her ass in the green room.
Oh shit.
And she starts running. And the funniest thing is someone got it on tape the long way. She's running down the hallway with this scared look on her face. And all of a sudden you see some girl jump, like Superman tackle her.
Boom, on the ground.
It starts pounding on her. And all of a sudden, it goes up and Kid Ink's in the green room too. And he looks up, and I think I yelled, say World Star. He's a World Star. And then that shit went to World Star.
Oh wow.
And what's funny is, you know who the host of that show was that night? Bootleg Kev.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So it brings it all full circle.
Gotcha.
And then, stuff. And
Mustard was there too. Mustard on the beat. Oh,
oh yeah, DJ Mustard. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Sounds like y'all had a pretty good concert though.
Oh, it was a great concert. It was a great concert. It was ahead of its time. And then that summer, Kid Ink ran the radio waves with all the Mustard. Remember, about 2 months later, all you heard was Mustard on the Beat songs for 2 years straight, 3 years straight.
Yeah.
And put
Y'all called him right before.
Yeah. And I'll just say this. I'll put some numbers out there. YG wanted to charge us 20 grand for the show. We paid him 10. That included Mustard, or 2 for Mustard.
Gotcha.
I think Kid Ink cost us like 8 at the time. Those dudes, YG, if you try to get YG now, he's probably like 100 grand,
Wow.
If that even makes sense. I wouldn't ever, but I'm just saying. But we were able to get him, on a discount from some people we knew.
Even Kid Ink went through the roof.
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
Because remember you talked about maybe doing another thing, and just wasn't even feasible.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So again, I know we went on this long-winded thing, but the long story short was they asked for extra security, and we provided. And still some girls got in a brawl at the green room that actually made World Star. True story. And then the funny thing is, the next morning I get a phone call from that kid again, trying to not threaten me. You jumped my sister, blah 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 blah. And I said again, stop with the false rumors. Where do you want me to meet you? Where do you want me to meet? No, I'm sorry, boss. Blah 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 blah. And then the next day, his family, they have a detective in their family. I guess he called, and I go, how'd you get my cell phone from so and so? And then and I was kind of an ass to the detective. I just said, yeah, I'd like you to go ahead. Come question me, whatever, because I have nothing to do with the shit. I go, you should be arresting your own nephew, as crooked as he is, And so anyway, that's funny. The behind the scenes on security, on some stuff. It's funny how the funny thing about us is this is all real, and we actually don't tell shit. I've probably forgot more shit
More
than we're going to talk about ever. And then I'm not a talk. This podcast brings you out of your element, but because I'm normally a quiet to myself person, like on all this stuff, But yeah, when we're talking about that, I just remember that comes with security, comes with the behind the scenes, so kind of a little relatable,
Yeah, for sure.
A little relatable.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely crazy. Speaking of crazy, Cierra Mist.
We talking about the soda? Or we talking about the influencer?
So crazy story. Cierra Mist decides they want to sue a influencer named Cierra Mist.
Spelled different though, right?
Yeah, spelled
CIE compared to SIE.
But still, they sent her a cease and desist, told her that she can no longer use her own fucking name, which was crazy as shit to me. Well,
The story makes no sense.
Yeah, well, the girl is smart as shit. She went back and wanted to go and check the trademark on Cierra Mist. Well, come to find out, somebody dropped the ball over at Cierra Mist and forgot to renew their trademark.
Yeah, it was abandoned.
So guess what? That's what old girl did. She went there, scooped up the trademark.
Well, supposedly that whole lawsuit and thing might be the reason that they changed the name.
And you know what the name is?
Starry.
Starry Night.
Oh, is it?
Starry Night, right?
Well, they call it Starry.
Okay.
Starry, yeah.
Because I never, 3 years, was it about 3 years ago?
22 or 23
yeah.
is when that all went down.
Okay.
Interesting. I didn't think you putting together why Starry came out.
I looked up.
Why did he change it from Cierra Mist to Starry? But now, the girl, what they try to offer? They tried to offer some money.
Allegedly $10 million.
Yeah.
$10 million they try to offer the girl. But, she's a big time celebrity or big time influencer, and she's already making big time money. So 10 million wasn't, I don't know.
Influencers making 10 million?
Some are. I mean, look
I don't know.
at the Paul brothers.
Yeah, well, I might have gave that name up for 10 racks though. I was like, yeah. Well, she wouldn't have been able to use her name after that.
Her net worth was an estimated in 2023 between 1 to 5 million.
Okay, so
Sierra Huffman, and her name's Sierra Huffman.
Got you.
Better known by social media, Cierra Mist,
Got you.
an American social media influencer and flight attendant.
So she was making, her net worth doesn't.
And it doesn't mean it's necessarily correct either.
Yeah, exactly. So
Personally, you can look me up. I'm $0, but I got shit hidden.
So
Allegedly.
So I don't know. Maybe she could turn around and maybe, like you said, that's why they went from Cierra Mist to Star, because she could turn around and sue them for fucking using.
No, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Anytime they want to use it, they want to retro it, if they're whatever.
Yeah, they would have to go through her. Yeah.
And then here's the other thing. If it's Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Right.
If they offered 10 mil, first of all, did they ever sell 10 million worth of Cierra Mist?
Right.
But if they offered 10 mil, what's it really worth?
Right. Yeah. That's what I say. My thing would be, so if that's your offer, then I know that's a lowball offer coming out. So I don't know, 20. Yeah. Would you have taken 20? Shit, I would have taken 10, but I'm just saying.
I'd have taken $400 and some Sierra.
No, you know what I would have done? Here's what I would have done. Seriously, I would have taken the 10 and made sure that as long as you approve that my name's my name.
Got you. Or maybe get some residuals on that.
Yeah. Or be a spokesperson.
Or get some residuals.
Or bring it back. Yeah, exactly.
Give some residuals off that Cierra Mist.
10 mil plus a 5-year contract to be a spokesperson,
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
which pays you in due.
Well, I don't know about all that, because then they can always shelve you and say, maybe do one.
But if the 10 million plus the guaranteed 5-year, and you get paid off every post or every engagement that you do, it might be worth it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But to double up.
I have to look at that one. Definitely would negotiate some stuff. I definitely wouldn't have left that $10 million on the table. I think I could have got that plus a little extra. But got to think out the box and stuff like that.
That's why Nick's hat says greedy.
I would have took the 10.
But nah, man, since you've been gone, man, you're the coincidence theorist on the show.
I'm the anti-coincidence theorist.
Anti-coincidence theorist. I've been going, back and forth online, just researching some stuff. We're all in like a group chat and stuff like that. So Mitch will send some, cool little tidbits and things, and have you researching these cool little items that he finds online, stuff like that.
I was like, who's Mitchelson? I'm just kidding.
And that's my ebonics sometimes. It's all good. It's all good. But no, and I said some shit back to you, stuff like that. We're talking about. But the thing that's got my mind kind of floating. Everybody on this show knows I'm a Christian and stuff like that. But right now, I'm questioning some things. I'm not questioning God and stuff like that, but I'm questioning what's out there right now. So I was telling you, we were talking in the green room earlier, and we were talking about this cat one of those cats that's out here. His name is Billy Carson.
Yep.
And cats like him.
Oh, he's well respected.
Well respected. Cats like him. Dude is super intelligent.
I just say brilliant. He's very brilliant. Yes.
Yeah. And he's just brought up some things that got me questioning about, not the validity of the Bible, but some of the things that are in the Bible that I took as quote unquote gospel. But it's now I'm kind of rethinking, just because they didn't come from tablets from God. They actually came from thoughts of men. So one of the things I was talking to you about is like the rapture. The rapture wasn't originally in the Bible. It was bought in 1800s. It was actually a footnote at the point, and then later on became a part of the Bible. Again, we also talked about the Sabbath. The Sabbath was always on Saturday, but calm down, B. Due to Constantine, not wanting to compete against the Jewish, the Jews were already celebrating, their Sabbath on Saturday in one of his own, so he changed it to.
Well, also allegedly, in order to take control and have more people under his control, he wanted to do a blend of Roman Catholic as well as pagan.
Right.
And so you start mixing symbolisms, and then you can go even deeper. And here's the punchline: is that some people even suggest that this was going on from the start, from Babylonian, influence, etc. That people in different places were always putting in different symbolisms. But again, as far as what a lot of people allege is that Constantine wanted to keep control, wanted to relate to most people, so he started making a mix of and basically that was your Roman Catholic Catholicism, Sunday worship, which technically was Saturday worship. The day of rest was supposed to be Saturday, day of worship Saturday. Sorry, again becomes Sunday, and again Sunday is double entendre meaning. Which Sunday for sun worship, and also sun, one sun, God's son, etc. So I mean, again, that's just one of many, many things. Even just some of the cloaks and gowns that they wear. If you ever catch the Pope, he wears that it almost looks like the McDonald's worker hat. It's like but it's shaped a little different color. Some people say that's a Babylonian fish god. That's on top of his head. I mean, if you go into right even now with the Vatican, and you see certain rooms, it looks serpentish. There's definitely like a serpent influence in the art and in the in the structures and stuff. I mean that again.
Well, there's a lot of serpents throughout. I mean, throughout the
of course
all religion. I mean, you have. I mean, in the Buddhist religion, you have the serpent, and let me think. What else? I mean, in Egypt, I mean, you heard serpents all over the place and stuff like that. And what I'm starting to learn, and like I said, is once you start going down this rabbit hole, it is deep. They start talking about the Anunnaki and how they were kind of like serpent, serpent.
The Greys,
we're like
Nibiru.
And stuff like that. So it was just like I say, man. I've been researching the hell out of it, and it's been kind of like making me question, quite a few things. I was talking to you earlier about the Ethiopian Bible, how they have way more,
outdates the Bible,
outdates our current Bible. It has way more books. One of the books that they have in there is the Book of Enoch. Now I knew a little bit, Genesis mentions Enoch a little bit, really doesn't go into depth who this person is, but the Book of Enoch, actually goes back and talks about who Enoch was. For you guys don't know, Enoch was the grandfather of Noah. And they talk about the great flood, back then. He really never ever dies. God brings him up in heaven. But he also tells Noah, he's one of the persons that tells Noah, hey, you gotta build this boat. And that was another thing. So they're saying, just reading in these tablets in the book, it wasn't an ark like we think. It wasn't like a boat-shaped ark. It was actually a spear, a submersible spear, that were cut into sections. And basically he told him to, bring his relatives and his livestock and stuff like that, and that to get ready. And he only had 7 days to build this whole spear, and then that they were going to come and God was then going to wipe out the world for the simple fact that, and this is when they were talking about that, and this is where I get confused about. They talk about the Enochi, but in the Bible they do talk about these angels that came down and were fornicating with, that were thrown out of heaven, that were fornicating with women here, human women, and they were creating these giants. They were calling them Enochs. And so this is where that's where they're thinking, this is where the Enochis come from and stuff like that. They were these giant beings. Well, I guess the angels were also teaching new technology, how to warfare, how to kill people. They were just teaching them. They were teaching humans things that they weren't even supposed to know.
Supposedly stuff that you didn't know if you didn't bite the apple. Or
Yeah, exactly. So, and this is why God had to wipe out the earth and stuff like that. But it was just fascinating to me. First, on an aspect of, I really wasn't getting into all the alien stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he was, it's a little, that part is a little bit too far fetched for me to be saying, higher, like these alien beings were here 400,000 years ago, and they came here to cultivate the earth for gold because their planet was dying, their ozone layer was dying, so they had to come here, and then they didn't mess with us for like 200 years, and then all of a sudden, they decided to make human beings essentially slaves and stuff like that. So they go into a little deeper stuff that is kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around. But what is very interesting, like I said, is like what's got me questioning right now is definitely, because I know you're a God-fearing man too. But you also are a pragmatist where you do your homework and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm starting to do mine, and instead of taking the Bible at face value, now I got to go look and say, oh shit, what's real and what's not in this joint. So
well, this is so deep.
And also, what was left out?
Yeah, what was left
how
out?
many other
Exactly.
books are out there that were hidden in the Bible?
I mean, that's what you said. I mean, that's what I was trying to get at. Is the Ethiopian Bible, and has all these other books that.
Well, I know, like Roman Catholic, they had a group before, that went through and decided what they were going to include and what they weren't.
The councils.
And the supposedly the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church still have all those books.
Yeah.
They just don't release them. There's stuff that's never been seen by the average man.
Some of the same books are in old what's it called, Freemasonry halls too.
Yeah.
Like old Bibles and different Bibles. I've heard that from some pretty close people, and again, no, Nick is right. I was just going to mention that Roman Catholicism does have councils that meet. They've been meeting since 1600s to take books out, make law changes. Who's a saint? Who's not a saint? Did this really happen? Did this not happen? Now, again, not saying that's right, wrong, and different. It's still humans, but it's supposed to be guided by God, etc. Again, can also be influenced by evil.
Wow.
With that said, this whole thing, Billy Carson, he's a little bit deeper. First of all, let's do the man fair justice. I mean, I think, his background is insane. I think for the record, I just want to make sure I know I've studied, a little bit about him, but I want to make sure I don't botch his background. He earned the certificate of science with an emphasis on neuroscience at MIT. And has a certificate in ancient civilization from Harvard University. Amongst his most notable achievements, Billy is the CEO of First Class Space Agency based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I was just going to say, that's funny you say a First Class Space Agency, because he is a big aliens, outer space person. He's not going to be, and I don't want to speak allegedly, I want to, but the different lectures I've heard, the different things I've read, and the different snippets I've gotten on him, and a few people. Shout out again to my boy Matt Garrido. He's been always wanting me to check on him, and I've been aware of him. I remember Dame Dash. I think I started checking him about 2014 or 15 when Dame Dash mentioned him. As far as the deep sea scrolls and everything else. And see, real quickly, and then we don't have enough time. That's the toughest part about jumping into something like this that is so intricate and it's got so many layers.
Right.
We always just talk about the outer layer real quick and leave everybody, But okay, so one of the arguments is that God and Jesus. I mean, again, let me take it a step back, because again, allegedly, or my interpretation is that Billy Carson thinks that there is an energy field that's a God, or an energy that's a God, or that there is a God, but it's not God Jesus, whatever. He thinks Jesus is more like a prophet, because in a lot of things I've heard him say, he says that, and a lot of other people say that the Bible's been around, but there's books that are a lot older. Also, you mentioned it too, but that he said that Jesus, when he was younger, took time to go around, around to Egypt, around to India, and learn the different religions, the crafts, and different things like that, and spiritualities, and then came back. That's what he believes, and then he also believes that some of the stories of the Bible are, when Jesus and everything Jesus did, are similar with Ra 10,000 years earlier, and stuff like that, and with Egyptian history and stuff like that. So I mean, again, not to say that's not true or whatever. I think again, it's tough to to this topic. I'll just say this. At least I know our clock's ticking, but first of all, we all have to have our own discernment. Again, this world. I mean, what if this world is 100 different dimensions of divisions for each person, and each one is a redo or a different situation, and we're judged on how we interpret everything. I mean, again, I'm just saying, like, if it's something we can't possibly imagine, first of all, and that's the problem we have. It's funny. I always use the internet example. We use the internet. We depend on it daily. We can't function without it. And we just go, oh, yeah, that's the internet. But we accept it. Right? We accept it, but we don't know how it works. We don't know how you can put a T-shirt up, take a picture. It's right there, sitting there. And then all of a sudden it's on this web and someone can purchase it. And then, I mean, it's like, it's insane. We don't know how I can lift my camera right now and I can send video just by pushing a button. And the button can either be photo still or video. And if I send video, I can send it over to somebody else, pretty much simultaneously while it's happening in the air. And they're going to get the same pixels back with the same picture. It's, and it's going to happen for 1 million people at the same time. Can we explain that? Well, do we really care? I mean, it's, again, we accept it. We accept it because it is, right?
Right.
Okay, well, religion's based on faith. And I'm going to say religion's 1 million times deeper than our phone or than the Wi-Fi or the internet. And we can't explain everything. If we understand we can't explain this phone, we can't explain a telephone from the 80s, then why do we have to have so much pressure to have to understand everything about religion or spirituality?
Well, I think there should be a defined difference between religion and then spirituality.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
Because religion, in the end of the day, religion is man-made.
Yeah, it can be used to control.
It's man-made. I mean, let's look at it.
It's used to control. Yeah, agreed. Again, and I should say spirituality.
Many parts of the Bible were written by man.
Yeah, of course.
It's their interpretation, their stories, whatever it is.
Now tell diehard Catholics and Christians that they're going to tell you that the Bible's sitting there and that's going to be exactly how it was meant to be. Yeah. And let me tell you something, I'm not trying to be, because I am, again, I'm a God and Jesus believer, period, will never waver. But I will say this, when it comes to that, they sit there and go, the Bible is exactly that, it's perfect. Then why isn't the church? Why are the people in the church? Why, again, and then
that's the one, like, because my mom is big time.
No, me, so's my mom.
And goes to church, and she's like, you need to go back to church. And what I try to, respectfully explain is, it's not that I'm not religious or don't have my faith in my spirituality. Yeah. It doesn't always align with everything that the church says, and the church is man-made. Yeah. And like even growing up, where it's like, oh, there were these things, or they never really explained why, but it was like, oh, you can't eat meat on Fridays during Lent or whatever it is. Different, like weird, quirky things that they don't explain what it's about sacrifice and about giving something up, and that you enjoy, that you cherish. They don't explain like the behind it. It's just kind of like a rule. You can't do this, you can't do that. And it gets to a point where it's like, did God say don't eat meat on Friday? And it's just like, I don't know, when it comes to church, it's, I think there's a benefit to it, but I also think that just because someone does or doesn't go to church doesn't make them spiritual or have faith, and I think everybody's spirituality and faith pertains to them. And like what you believe and what I believe may not be exactly the same, but that doesn't mean any one of us are wrong or indifferent.
No, I'm just going to say this just in one point, and this is too deep to even touch on so many levels. But the one thing that's interesting, because I do, again, I know this is my opinion, but I do believe that the world is ran when we talk about, okay, when you watch the movies and you sit down and you watch your movie at the movie theater, and you see, I always tell Chris this every time we watch a movie, and there's like 2 or 3 companies that do it, but 2 for sure, like, and you see the stars start coming down, right? From the movie. Yeah. And one comes down, makes a circle, the other one comes down and flies around, right? Yeah. And then goes to the mountain. Okay, Paramount, and who's the other one? But
20th century.
Yeah, those are the fallen angels, right? Okay, those are the fallen angels, and supposedly they're going to Mount Hermon or whatever, where they're supposedly buried. I mean, or whatever, in snow or whatever it is. It's kind of like the Transformers movie, whatever, they try to, but it's so funny that symbolism is everywhere. That occult Babylonian symbolism is everywhere, And we're talking from Bohemian Grove to the back of our dollar to even Arby's is doing the pyramid all-seeing eye. I mean, and again, I know people think they have answers and they want to get tattoos of it and it's trendy and whatever else, and it shakes things up in their minds, you know. But that's been going around forever. The all-seeing eye for CBS, you know. I mean, even the Statue of Liberty might be something else. You know what I mean? Like it's so freaking deep on so many levels.
Yeah, I just started to hear about the Statue of Liberty, about the chain,
the chains, the light bearer, and we'll get into that in another topic.
Yeah.
But again, my thing is this: they're fighting so hard against God and Jesus. Like what's funny is, you've seen, and it's gotten to the point, and this is my own discernment, but I remember when Kurt Warner at Super Bowl said, "I want to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior." I sat there next to me, I go, he'll never win another Super Bowl. And he got robbed for the Cardinals against the Steelers. And even in his own movie, they changed the words. I'd like to thank God. No, he said, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Steph Curry, same thing. The first title he won, 2013-14. What's it called? I believe it's 13-14 against the Cavs. He want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. When they went to show back that, they just said, you know, I want to thank God. You know, and then when he finally won his MVP 3 years later, yeah, I want to thank God, and he left it at that. It's interesting. Yeah, it could be a coincidence to us again, but there is a battle going on. Like, you can't wear a Jesus T-shirt, but you can wear whatever else you want. You can wear a pentagram shirt. You can wear whatever you. It's so funny that there's a battle directed at one, I won't say one, at one God, basically. We don't see this battle with Buddha. No, we really don't. You know, and even as angry as the United States is with Allah, you don't see the powers that be going in on that. You don't see them attacking it. And you definitely don't want to do anything against a certain race. You know, I'll just say that actually runs the world financially. Well, you know, because you'll get put in your place.
I got that, but let me ask you this real quick while we got like a snippet of time. Is that because, you know, certain fringes of I'll just take the U.S. because where we live. Certain fringes of the U.S. has taken.
No, but you'll get killed in other areas for the same belief.
I know, but what I'm saying has taken God and Jesus and then put it to the extreme where they made it so rigid and so where they're high and mighty and that's what people are starting to backlash against it because
that could be a narrative and an excuse. I mean, but in the same token. Again, when someone tells you to love thy neighbor, to honor thy father, thy mother, what's wrong with any of that stuff?
No, I'm not saying that, but when you have these politicians, you know, or now, or you know, like I said, or requiring for you to have, you know, or taking sex education out of the classroom. I know all of us here growing up had sex education when we were growing up, okay, and now they're saying this is not. Well, if you're not learning at the house, well, you're supposed to be learning at school. And it's not here's the thing is, I would think my kid learn sex education because then I learned, okay, if you gonna put, you know, if you gonna come inside another woman, you run the risk of having a baby. And then what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? My thing is you can't religiously say that is wrong, is you can't teach. You can't teach, you know, you're condoning sex and stuff. That's not you condoning sex. You know what I'm saying? That's you educating a young person on what could happen on if they decide, because they have hormones. We're all there, bro. We're all there. We're horny-ass teenagers.
I'll just say this: if you do enough studying and you look at who these people believe in, and I'll just say that the Baphomets, the trans, like no sex statue, like if you look at a Baphomet, which is supposed to be the devil, it has breasts. It's supposed to be part beast, part man, part woman, etc. That explains exactly where we're at right now in today's world and where we're going. I mean, really, and again, it really does, in my opinion. It's funny. Where's this push coming from, and why isn't there more of a resistance? Because they took God out of schools, and it didn't have to be your God. It had to be. I mean, again, during that time, I mean, I know there were kids that didn't believe, and they were cool as hell. Like, again, you know, you didn't believe, cool. You didn't have to go to the thing. You could go to study hall. You could go here, whatever else. But again, when people start trying to do stuff, and they have this movement that they push themselves, and then they fund, and you know, stuff, and it's funny. It's no different than the defund the police in all the leftist states. And I'm not trying to get politics. I hate both sides equally. And I think it's all puppet show. But again, defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. Let's march, let's do this shit. And then as soon as crime goes wrong, the police weren't here to help me. And now you're seeing where the cities are going. You know, again, it's so ironic. But again, everybody's getting played by the puppet master, who I believe has an occultish Babylonian belief system that they hide in other ways.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna talk about more of these.
Sorry, we should have went more in detail with Billy Carson.
I know.
He's a brilliant dude, and I don't agree with him 1,000%.
Right.
I don't think any of us do 1,000%, but that's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
But the difference between us and other people is, if you ever talk to somebody and if they don't say your spiel line for line, they cut you off and go, I don't listen to that person. No, I want to listen to more of him. He's a brilliant guy. He has a great resume. And guess what? There's going to be things I'm going to learn. And I'm going to trust my life experiences and my discernment. Because I'll tell you what, I'll put my life experience against his life experience any day of the week. You know, I put, you know, again, and that's what people seem to forget. They take these pieces of paper, they take these indoctrined courses that they don't even go so far as to see who created the agendas and where they were put in, whether it was the Rockefellers or whoever else, or Lucis Trust made your books. And we can go into detail of that, and they want to sit there and come back with these, and I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying that's one cycle in life. There's another cycle in life, you know, where people actually live it. They live it under their own, you know, under whatever conditions they were given. They make the best of it, and they have their experiences. And those should not be dismissed aside as worth less than this piece of paper. And that's where I think we get caught up. We always want to go with the credentials, but the credentials are in this fake world we live in. And it's the credentials that are to shackle us mentally and financially, you know?
I hear you, brother. All right, real quick. Coming in the show.
Go ahead, Nick.
After that, I got to lead with the thought of the day, huh?
Yeah.
All right, thought of the day. I'm just going to say, you know, no matter what you believe in, just know that, you know, nobody knows what's really right or wrong as far as religion goes. If you have faith and you have something to believe in, you're ahead of the game. And, you know, don't get down or frustrated when, you know, sometimes things don't go your way, or, you know, people look down on you for your beliefs. Just, you know, it's always better to have something to believe in. So
there you go.
So shout out Charles Manson.
wow.
So anyway, I'm going to say this real quick. I was, you know, probably need more time on the topic, but it's funny, the programming in all sorts of films and movies, because that's the only way they can get us now. We don't watch big motion pictures at the movie theaters anymore. We don't listen to the radio like we used to. You know, I mean, we're talking the tools of the 60s, 70s, 80s are gone. They've had to recreate the game, and they do it now with, you know, our streaming, you know, and all these different shows. And you see them hinting, foreshadowing, you know, all this different stuff, the verbiage, and it's so much deeper. It's so much deeper. I mean, even like, you ever stop to think? Look at two of the more popular shows, Ozark, right? The other one I was talking about, Animal Kingdom, right? And there's a few others like this. What do? They commit a ton of fucking crimes, murder a bunch of people, right?
Right.
All for what? The sake of laundering money, right?
Right.
So basically, they're telling everybody subliminally, we can commit all these fucking crimes, and we got to pay our fucking taxes, or we got to at least prove why we don't.
Right.
And again, so in the back of your head, you're watching this fucking movie the whole time, and you're like, I got to pay my fucking taxes because I don't do this shit, and I can't launder like this. I wish I could launder like this, but I can't, so I just got to pay my fucking taxes. And again, it's fucking brilliant fucking mind fuck, because you sit there and you watch these criminal organizations play by the fucking rules at the deepest level. Because they have to they're showing how they have to launder all this shit. And it's such a theme. It's like common knowledge now in all these fucking films. Launder, and we got to get this to wash the money, and, you know, and all this other stuff. And that's for high level people, the people sitting back working at, you know, 7-Eleven or whatever else. And I'm not knocking any profession. I'm just saying they're sitting there in the Midwest going, I can never do that shit, you know? Okay, I'm just going to pay my fucking taxes and be happy with my tax return, you know, with what I get. And it's just funny because it's like, that's where they get you. They mentally fucking trap you in these movies. Or they show the fucking hero and they use it as human character flaws. But then he'll do things and he always stabs somebody else in the back for his own selfishness. And that's the hero. But we cheer for him the whole fucking time. And again, John Wick's perfect fucking example. I promise you this by cutting off my pinky, and I swear, and then all of a sudden he's lying about shit. And then the fucking second John Wick was this guy came back and said, you owe this on a blood oath. Well, I don't feel like it anymore. You know, I got married and I lost my girl. And and it's supposed to be above all everything else. That's why everything holds. And so again, just don't fall for the okey doke, banana in the tailpipe. I know most of you will because you know it's puppet shows and you enjoy them. But cool.
Hey, last thing, don't be afraid to question. Like I said, just do your homework. But go and work out in the end. 210. We'll see you next week. Love you.